if your makeup isn't showing up well on camera, this video is going to tell you how to fix that. Show you step by step how to achieve this entire look and things I try to keep in mind as I do my makeup to guarantee that you can see what I put on my face on camera. So let's just go into it. I still look pretty dead because I've been sick for like the last 2 weeks. It takes me forever to bounce back, but here we go. I think I'll go ahead and start with the base. I am going to color correct because I got paler overall. The hyperpigmentation that I do have on my face looks worse. So I'm just taking a bit of the LA Colors Conceal Correct in the shade Peach. And this is just a really old, like oldie but goodie color corrector. And I'm just using a fluffy brush to kind of blend this out. And I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit to let it dry so I can just layer my foundation on top nicely. And I'm pretty much just putting this where I have my hyperpigmentation, which is around my chin. And I don't know why, I literally have veins. You can literally see. I don't know why I have that, I just do. But my under eyes, oh my goodness, while I was sick, my under eyes, and then I'm just tired. I think last night I slept, what, like 2 hours? And then while I was up, I was editing videos, so my eyes was straining. So they're kind of a mess. I put on a serum with a lot of caffeine in it, and I just kind of like layered that on, but I'm probably gonna do like an under eye mask tonight and go to sleep with it on because my under eyes are a mess. Since I was trying to decide between a couple foundations, I tried one today, but I really just wanted to use like an oldie but goodie trustworthy one. This is the FitMe Matte+Poreless foundation. I have the shade 118 light beige because I lost my tan, but I do want a little bit of a glow to it, so I'm gonna mix in the W7 Lumina multi-glow filter. This is like tanner than me, so it's gonna give like a nice bronze look, so I look a little less dead. You really want to make sure you let each of these layers dry, otherwise it's going to mix together and start looking muddy. Like if you really want to cover this color corrector, you really need to wait for it to dry and then even set it with just a little bit of powder. I said I wanted to do like all drugstore, but I currently don't have any drugstore setting powders. If you have any to recommend, let me know, but I'm taking like the tiniest bit just to create like a little layer between my color corrector and my foundation. So just literally like a residual amount of whatever is left from earlier today. It really is like my favorite setting powder. This is the Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder, and it's just in the shade Translucent. It's pricey, but I am on the lookout for drugstore powders. So please let me know if you have any you recommend. I'm taking my foundation and this filter, I guess, and I'm not gonna mix like a crazy amount over here. I'm just gonna use my finger. Yeah, this should mix well. They're both pretty thick formulas, and I don't think it'll separate. Yeah, we're good. I'm just gonna dab this all over my face just to spread out evenly. And I'm going to try not to buff in anywhere where I have the color corrector because I don't want to move it around. And it's just better for your skin to be more gentle anyways and just like dab everything. So I'm just gonna try to dab everything in. I'm just trying to get this evened out on my neck. And just a nice dense brush, and I'll just go to town with this. I always love using matte foundations, but if you use matte foundations, they tend to dry people's skin out, and I have really dry skin. So I'll just make sure to really hydrate my face. I actually have like a really nice moisturizer on it's not too heavy, but it's nice and hydrating. So just keep that in mind for matte foundation, especially this one. This one is a very matte foundation, and it tends to make my skin feel tight after like the full day. But regardless, this is just one of my favorite foundations, and I will keep grabbing it. I do very, very thin layers because I don't want any cakiness, but man, this combo looks so beautiful. Like, I don't know how this is going to appear on camera, But this, I look like I have a filter all over my face. Really pretty, very beautiful. And like, this gives me the nice like matte finish, so I don't have like a dewiness that emphasizes any bags or lines. That's really why I don't like dewy foundations. But this just gives such a nice like glow. I look like I'm alive again. I went from like looking like a dead person to someone that looks like they get enough sleep at night and they eat vegetables. Wow, this literally looks like my skin, but better. Like, it doesn't look like I have a lot of foundation on. I have to remember this combo because it's really nice. I haven't set this with any powder or anything, but it has such a nice finish. I might consider just not even setting it. We'll see, we'll see. But time for concealer. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible. Why is this in French? Oh, one side is French, one side is English. Okay, this is the Infallible Full Wear Full Coverage Concealer from L'Oreal. I have the shade Oatmeal. I'm just gonna use this to brighten up. Now I try to avoid putting too much product right around my eyes. Like when I do my foundation, I tried not to put too much product right in where I have all my creasing. And it'll make everything sit a little better. But I'm gonna grab a fluffy brush and just blend everything in. Now I only use a little bit because I'm just looking for a little brightening. I'm not really going for any coverage or like crazy high coverage. But this is a full coverage concealer. Definitely use more if you need more coverage. But I just really want to brighten up this corner area down to my nose, and this will kind of help snatch my nose a little bit and basically cover where I have all my veins. I have such thin skin around my eyes and around my mouth. You can literally just see the veins straight. I could trace them for you if you wanted, but I'm just trying to make it less noticeable. One thing a lot of people will say is if your makeup isn't showing up on camera, you're not applying enough. And while I agree with that, that's really not the only reason. You need to make sure you have like a nice even layer, because cameras will emphasize things that aren't even. So if you are worried about your makeup and how it's gonna look on camera, have your phone by you and just, you could probably use your phone mirror as a camera, or your phone camera as your mirror, but it's going to be hard to see like the little details. But just try to get as even of coverage as you can. Like I'm spreading this out, and you can always build more coverage up. So like as this dries, if I want more coverage, I can put just a little bit more on and it'll help even everything out. But what's more important than that is layering. When I started layering my products, like my cream contour with a powder bronzer that's like a cooler tone, that's when I really saw my makeup show up in photos better. And I'll be going through that. I'm setting my eyelids in right under my eyes with the translucent powder. So this concealer sits nice and I don't get patchiness. I always set my eyelid. This just will help create like a nice blend, especially if you're using like darker shadows. It's really important you set your eyelids well, because you don't want patches of like eyeshadow sticking and it just won't blend up pretty. So just set your eyelid. Now for the brows, this is from Absolute New York. I picked this up at like my local beauty supply store, and this is just my favorite brow product. I've been trying like I have like a couple of drugstore ones, but mostly high-end brow products, and I'm just like not a fan. I love how fine this tip is, even though I'm not even like drawing in the individual hairs. It's just, I don't know, it gives me nice control, which I love. But I do need to get my eyebrows done because it is looking like a bit of a hot mess over here. And then just brushing my brows out. And this also helps to get any foundation out that I got in my eyebrows. But I'll make sure to kind of blend out the front. And I do have pretty thick brows. They just need to be reshaped because it's been a little while. Today's look, it was pretty hard to decide on a nice drugstore palette. But I picked this one. It's the Morphe Lunarious eyeshadow palette. This is just a beautiful like neutral eyeshadow palette, and I haven't used this as much as I wanted to, so here we go. Let's get started. I have my fluffy blending brush and I'm going to dip into the shade Full Orbit right here and start building my crease. Just like that. And I'm just going to take my time and blend everything out. This eyeshadow is really like the perfect mid-tone brown shade. Like it looks like lighter on the palette, it looks darker on my eyes, but I think this is a beautiful transition color. Like this, I wish they made a bronzer of this shade because this is just really nice. If you're getting any patchiness with eyeshadows, one thing you can do is use your translucent powder, take a little bit of that and help blend that edge in. And that's just, I feel like I don't ever really see anyone doing that. But it kind of helps diffuse the shadow. So that's just a little thing you can do if you're using a palette that doesn't have like a good transition shade. Like earlier today I used the Pat McGrath like Bijou Brilliance Lunar Nightshade eyeshadow palette, and the matte shade that I use in the crease is a very like, it's very like a bright purple shade, but it's not like a, I don't know, it's not like too bright, but it is a pretty deep purple. And I literally just used a little bit of the bronzer, my bronzer, and mixed with the translucent powder that I used. And it just gave me the perfect blend. Like, it literally looks like I just used that purple shadow and blended it, like I had superpowers or something. Making sure to pull in the color all the way into my inner corner right here. I feel like your eyeshadow makeup won't show as much if you just only have like the darker colors building out here. I'll also start smoking some of this color on the bottom lash line. I'm just using the edge of this fluffy blending brush, and it'll just give me a little bit of color to start off with. Next, I'm going to take the shade Gravitational Pull right here, and I'm going to focus this on my outer corner right here, and I'll basically just dab it to place the shade, and then I'll place some in the inner corner and then sweep back and forth to get these connected. And I'm going to keep this on the lower portion of my crease. I'm not going to try to pull it too high because this fluffy brush is kind of doing that work for me. I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't go up too high and look muddy. And if you're ever getting like patchiness around here, just apply a little more, right? Now, if you're worried it's going to get too dark and you have patchiness, use the transition shade that you had earlier to help blend things out. I can probably use a different shade as an example because these are actually blending in really nicely. But if that happens, I'll do a closer look on that to show you what I mean. When it comes to applying eyeshadows and it appearing on camera, you really do need to use a good bit. Now, if you do use too much and it got too dark, just use a lighter transition shade and layer it on top and it'll just help diffuse everything out. But you do want to do deeper colors for at least your crease and everything, otherwise it's not going to show up. And then if you have like high contrast features like me, like very dark eyebrows, very dark hair, and like lighter, fairer skin, you have to use like colors that work with that. So like me using like a mid-tone brown isn't going to show up because my eyebrows and my hair is going to overpower that. So that's also something you have to keep in mind. And move on to a smaller crease brush and this shade right here, and it's called Shadow Phase. I'm going to pick this up mostly on the tip of that brush, tap off the excess, and I'm going to darken my outer V right here. This one I am going to initially just focus in my outer V right here and just drag it in. But I don't want to bring it in too much. But see how I'm getting a little bit of patchiness right here? I'll show you how I can fix that. I'm going to just use the tip of this brush just to kind of distribute the color first. And then I'll go back in with my fluffy blending brush. And I'm using the first transition shade that I used, the Full Orbit. I'm just going to layer it on top like this. And see, it almost instantly just fixes that patchiness. And this will make sure it doesn't go too up high and look muddy. But it'll help me blend everything out. See, I'm getting that patchiness again. You know, not really getting too great of a blend from this darker shade. So I'm gonna go back in with my blending brush into the first transition shade and layer it on top. You don't want to put it any higher, really. Just kind of put it on top where you have this darker shade, and it'll just help blend everything out. And use that crease brush in the darker shade, the shadow phase, and smoke up my bottom lash line. When it comes to your bottom lash line, you really want to make sure you're getting like, you're making your eye shape kind of look together as a whole. Like, I don't know if that made any sense, but like, so my bottom lash line right here on this side, it upturns quite a bit. Now, if I just actually traced this eyeshadow right at the bottom, it wouldn't look right. I have to actually color in this area a bit extra just to kind of fill in this space. Because if I had it, it would just kind of look like a weird U shape. I don't know if that makes sense, but your eyes just need to look more cohesive to fit the look you're going for, you know? Now, time for some shimmer shades, and I'm going to take Cosmic Shift right here, and I think this is such a pretty shade. And I'm taking a flat brush and just kind of loading this onto here, and I'm going to put this all over my lid pretty much. I'm not sure this is applying the best with the brush, but I'll just keep layering this on. This has that wet look to it, you know? Like all the shadows I'm seeing with like Makeup by Mario and everything, they're like toppers. It's kind of giving that vibe. Very pretty. I'm not sure if the camera is picking up any of this glitter, but like, look. I feel like that's showing it like when I put it on, but in real life, this is such a beautiful sparkle. It's like the ethereal type of sparkle. Very pretty. This is a deeper shade of sparkle, so I'm gonna use this one right here. This is Moon Rock. And I'll basically place this on the center of my lid, and this will bring some dimension back. This one again is like one of those topper type of glitters. I probably should have used another shadow underneath this, but I'm kind of digging the whole like dark smoky with a little bit of sparkle. It's really pretty. I need to just use these shadows for some looks because these are really pretty. Like this is looking really high end. Like these shimmers, yeah, so that's looking really nice. But now I'm going to take an angled brush and just the black shade right here. This one's called Total Eclipse. And I'm going to create like a smoky eyeliner. I'm not going to do like a full-on wing. I just want to create basically a space for my eyelash glue to stick to like not look weird on. But I do like a nice soft smoky eyeliner. And just harsh eyeliner just doesn't suit me. Yeah, this just looks so much better than like a harsh line. It kind of adds to just that full smoky effect. I have some eyeshadow fallout. So I'm just taking a brush with a little bit of extra translucent powder and just brushing it away. It really helps that I have my under eye set and it wasn't really sticky to begin with. So that helps a lot. But if you have like a lot of darker shadows going on, you might want to do your face second because it'll just get rid of this problem. I just lined my waterline with a black eyeliner and I also tightlined a little bit, and then I'll put on my lashes and I'll be right back. Lashes just really change the look. Like, this is just a key thing for wanting your makeup to show up on camera. Good lashes like this, it's just, you know, these aren't even that expensive. These aren't that great of lashes, right? They're not expensive at all, but they really just bring the drama to your eyes. Now, I'm going to show you how to fix like the glossy band, but like, you know, you can see the clear difference between this eye and this eye. After you put on your lashes, you have to do two things, right? You need to put some mascara on your bottom lash line or your bottom lashes because the eyeshadows and all the other products are sticking to your lashes and it's graying them out, right? It's gonna make your false lashes stand out in a bad way if your bottom lashes look like a whole different shade like this. And then you want to take your black shadow that you used on your waterline and just tap it on where the glue is on your eyelid, and it'll mattify that line to make it look like your lashes are part of the makeup. Like it's going to mattify that and just smoke perfectly into your eyeliner. The reason why I love using a black eyeshadow to do a smoky liner instead of just like a harsh liner, because you can do little things like this that make it to make everything just look a little bit more seamless. So here's after some mascara, right? My bottom lashes just look more like put together, right? If I didn't put the mascara on my bottom lashes, it just would look so top heavy. You just need to have that balance. And then I also put mascara on my top lashes as well to blend everything in, because my natural lashes did get grayed out from all the eyeshadow on it. So it just puts everything together. And now I'm going to use that same eyeliner powder brush, and I'm going to put some shadow on the Lash Glue band. Lash Glue band. Okay, I have both my lashes on. Everything looks great. And now is when I'll look to make sure that my eyes feel dramatic enough, right? Because when you put on your eyelashes, it just sometimes takes away from the eyeshadow look. So now's the time, if I want to deepen my crease or brighten up my lid, now I do it. Add a bit more drama. So I'm using Gravitational Pull from the palette and just like a pointy brush, I'm going to just deepen this crease a little bit. And I'm only using a little bit of product at a time. I'm putting this in my crease, and I'll use that first transition shade to blend everything in. But I really like the drama of this look. I just want a tiny bit more. I'm blending everything in, and I brought my mirror back close to me so I can make sure I don't have any patchiness happening. Now, time to go back to my face and let's just put some dimension back in, because the foundation really just flattens out your face. If you really want your makeup to show up, you have to layer everything. I didn't know to do this before, so my earlier videos, I didn't really do this. Some things I did layer, but not everything. But I'm gonna use the Kiko Milano, what is this? The Sculpting Touch Creamy Stick Contour. This is a similar product to my favorite product, like contour stick. It's the Makeup by Mario one. And man, I love this one. This is only $10 on Amazon. And I'm just gonna use this to contour. I'm using a brush like this. It's like dense but fluffy at the same time. And it's going to just help me put the contour right where I want it. I don't have to, like if I put this directly on my face, I find that I'll have to blend so much that it starts looking muddy. And this just lets me place the right amount in, like, it's almost like already blended in. I'm just doing this on the sides of my nose and a little on the bridge and underneath here to give me this dimension back. And if you just wear a foundation, you just always want to contour or at least bronze, because it really flattens your face on camera. I'm basically using a bigger version of this brush, and I'm going to focus this contour around the perimeters of my face. So like on my forehead, my forehead isn't that big. I actually have a very small forehead, and this is just more to bring the dimension back, not necessarily to make my forehead shorter. So I'm putting this on. And then down the side right here on my temple. And this is a true like neutral contour on me, right? And then on the side, like this looks like a really cool contour shade, but it is showing up a bit warmer, which is like neutral on me now. And I'm going to basically where I have this hollow, I'm going to apply it above that. And this will just help kind of like lift my cheekbones. And I'm going to do this on the other side of my face. And it's just like using the brush lets me build things up. It's a little bit more forgiving. So just try putting the product on the brush before putting it on your face. And I can guarantee you it's going to blend out more seamlessly. And this just goes for like contours in general, not just this product. And see, I'm adding more where I want more depth. Now, I will also put some whatever's left on my brush on my jawline, and this will help warm my entire face, because if you just kind of like stop here, the rest down here, it just won't look cohesive. This is just something so important. I'll see so many people have like a nice snatched upper half of your face, like not even just to contour, just to kind of balance the warmth. But see, this just, again, pulls everything together and you're using up all the product on your brush, which is nice. Now I'm all contoured up and I'm gonna set this with a powder bronzer. Now I always like to use a matte, like powder bronzer. This is from Essence. It's the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder and this is just my favorite. I've been trying a lot of bronzers and the Pat McGrath Divine Bronzer, I think that's what it's called. That's my high-end favorite, and for drugstore, this. Like, I haven't found a single bronzer that I like. I do have a couple to check out on my list, but this, I've had this for ages and I haven't run out. So, and this is so, like, it just melts into your skin and it's just so forgiving. It's really hard to overdo it with this product, but I'm basically laying this on top of where I have my contour, plus a little higher on my cheeks. Contours in general are cooler toned, and this will help kind of warm everything up, even though this contour does look warmer on me. I'm putting this on the bridge of my nose too, just to give me a nice, like, tanned bronze look. And then whatever's left, my jawline. Nice. Now, time for blush. I realize I don't have very many drugstore blushes, but the drugstore ones I do have, I really do love. And this is from Wet n Wild. It's their Color Icon blush. I'm pretty sure this is the shade like Naked Brown or Nude Brown. I have every single product listed in my description. I just peeled this off accidentally, so I don't know the exact shade name, but this is really nice. And it's actually a dupe for the, whatchamacallit, Max Copper Tone. I do have Copper Tone. I actually haven't swatched these side by side, but this is just a really pretty blush. And these blushes, I do have a couple shades of these, but they're all like warmer tone, but I just wanted to grab like my favorite for this look. Because this just gives, this is a nice like bronzy blush. Very pretty. And it's so buttery. I feel like this feels like a higher end blush. And this, I think this blush is literally like $3 or $4. It's really nice. Now, like I said, for the dimension and for this to show up better on camera, you really want to layer with a cream like blush. I don't have a cream blush that'll work with this, so I'm just blending everything out really well and then putting a little extra where I really want to focus the blush, which is like up on my cheekbone past where my like eye is right here. And this will just create like dimension, because if you just have like one layer of blush on even, it's just again going to create that like flat look. But when you have like the layering between like the cream and the powder, you can really get some nice dimension. But for here, I'm just going to focus the color on an area and then blend everything out, which it's working. And this is a pretty pigmented blush, so I feel like that's why it's working better. But I feel like this wouldn't work too well with my less pigmented blush, like my MAC blushes. My MAC blushes, I really have to blend up these days. Okay, but that looks pretty good. I got this lip liner the other day, so I can finally try this out because I feel like this is gonna work with the look. This is from Wet n Wild. It's the Color Icon lip liner, and this is the shade Chestnut. I did grab like 4 colors, but I feel like this is gonna look really nice with this look, so let's see. This is a bit warmer than what I wanted, but it's still a really pretty color. I like it. It's really pigmented. I really like this one. And then I just used the Essence, what is this? The This Is Nude lipstick in number 5 Legendary. This is just like one of my favorite like nude lipsticks in general, and it's super affordable. Yeah, but I put this on, I put a little bit more lip liner around just to blend everything in, and I'm loving the lip combo. Now, you think we're done, but we're not. We're not done. Now for cameras, right? When you have a smooth, like when you have a matte powdered like surface and you don't have the shine, texture won't be emphasized. So if you have texture around your face, you really want to mattify it. Because unfortunately, if you do have like that shine or any greasiness, it's going to emphasize that texture. So I'm going back in with my translucent powder, and I'm gonna powder where I have some shine, which is always my forehead. I don't know why, I don't have a greasy forehead, My forehead's actually very dry. It's just, I just have really like shiny skin. But I'm using this triangle puff and basically powdering any shine away. Now, if you do want a glow, that's different. If you want a glow, I honestly recommend like wherever you have texture to powder it first and then add a glowy product on top. So it's not like a oily glow, but like a more intentional, like pearlescent glow. But I always have some texture on my chin just from like my skin being clogged up. So I'm powdering where I have that, and then around my nose. I do get texture around my nose. And this will just smooth everything out in photos. And then same thing, if you retouch your makeup, just carry a powder around with you and some blotting paper. The blotting paper will help the blotting paper will help take away the excess oil so you don't get too much oil on to your like makeup tools and you don't get hard pan. But I absolutely love using these triangle puffs to set any shine. There we go. What do we think? Do we like it? Is it appearing well on camera? Because I feel like that was the whole point of this video. But I have like my nice, like neutral, like cooler leaning smoky eye. And I'm really in love with these shimmer shades. I totally forgot about these because this I used to actually use as a one and done shadow for a couple of looks. But I need to pull this out more because it's an affordable palette. I think this is like $14 at Ulta. It's really nice. It's a very versatile palette because you do have like nice transition shades and you have like big like eyeshadow pots of like the more versatile ones too, which I love. And then I have my base, which is just a flawless, it's gonna appear better on camera because it's more matte look. So you guys let me know. Did you like this video? Did you learn anything to make your makeup show up better on camera? Like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and let me know your thoughts. And if you want to see my face more often, you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram where I post multiple times that day, including like a daily get ready with me and my daily lip combos, because if you're a lipstick lover like me, you're gonna love those videos. And I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope to see you again soon.